He was one of the state's most notorious prisoners, and now that he's a free man, controversy continues to surround him. Convicted murderer Peter Schneidas is enjoying his first 48 hours of freedom, but the debate is raging over whether it's safe for you or your family as he walks the streets. For the first time, the parole board has given its reasons for releasing him. And Greg Quayle spoke with Schneidas at home as he comes to terms with life outside after 25 years behind bars.
Hi! Oh, we nearly didn't make it.
It's 19 years and 10 months since Peter Schneidas tasted freedom. His first words on the outside were for the victims of his crime.
I would like to make a statement to particularly the family of Mrs. Newburn, and I would ask her to accept my apologies.
In 1979, Peter Schneidas murdered prison officer John Newburn with a hammer. He got life, which was reduced to 15 years after his horrendous treatment in jail was taken into account.
I better shut the door because you never shut them behind you.
Now on parole, Schneidas is settling in to life at home with his wife of 13 years, Josie.
Yes.
And they're intent on staying out of the spotlight. They say this is their first and last interview about Peter Schneidas' crime and time in jail.
From an early age, I was taken into a system. I was brutalised, I was bashed by that system and systematically flogged. Systematically flogged by batons, by prison officers using rubber batons, who'd come in drunk on Saturdays, who'd flog you.
Schneidas' story is a tragedy. At 10 years of age, he was in a boys' home for wagging school. At 17, he was arrested for passing dud checks and sent to an adult prison. His retaliation against rough treatment by the guards made him a target. But Schneidas says, and the parole board agrees, he is now a changed man.
How can the public be sure that you won't offend in that manner again?
I can honestly say that I have been slowly progressing, and you come to the point in your life where there is a change, and that change does take place, and it's obvious to everyone.
Well, not exactly everyone. The New South Wales Parole Board heard evidence from a psychiatrist that Schneidas remains a danger, and the state's Shadow Minister for Corrective Services, Kerry Chikarovsky, even wrote to the board asking Schneidas be kept inside.
I think that the parole board needs to look at the people it's releasing very carefully and should consider which is the greater interest, the community's safety or the individual prisoner. And I think it's the individual prisoner who has to give up his rights for the overall good.
As well, the board heard from two psychiatrists who supported his release, and at least one of those psychiatrists was a very, very experienced forensic psychiatrist who'd worked for many years in the prison system.
Graham Egan is the secretary of the New South Wales Parole Board.
Schneidas was a very violent man. What's to say he won't be violent outside of the system?
What the board is certain of is that it met all its obligations under the Act, and that as far as all of the expert opinion presented to it, and the opinions that the board brought to the case as well, they are as satisfied as possible that he will be, it is in the public interest to release him, and that he will go on and lead a quiet life on parole.
Josie, is Peter capable of expressing anger in a violent manner?
What, do you mean physically violent?
Yes.
Not that I've seen, or not that I've experienced, and I've known him for 15 years. If you're trying to ask, what sorts of faults does he have, the worst one that I can come up with is that he tends to nag.
Peter Schneidas, the nagger.
Yes. I mean, from the most dangerous to a nag. That probably hurts more because it's the truth. Had a long day today.
Peter Schneidas will be on parole for 3 years. He's under strict conditions. And next week, he begins his new job, selling cars.
The fact is that I have a lot to contribute to society. Society has nothing to fear from me, and I believe everyone who knows me knows that. The things that they can see in me are positive things and things that I can contribute, and as I will.
Greg Quayle reporting there. Next, the spelling bee that's getting all A's. A new